This is a Thanksgiving weekend before the Thanksgiving. I'm training my wonderful high school students in debate. They are going to debate something very interesting. They are going to debate about the things they love, which are movies. They have different tastes. They will have a serious debate. Bill and James, the floor is yours.
All right.
I will be starting. We are going to be talking about horror movies and how all of these reboots and endings are all just coming in disasters. As I'm pretty sure we all know this from Halloween Ends and all of the reboots that have been coming.
Exorcist Believer or something like that.
Yeah, Halloween Ends, the ending could have been good. We could have made Corey the new Michael Myers, but he just ended up dying. So what even was the point of bringing him into the story?
So I think about Corey now. The point of Corey is probably supposed to be how it's supposed to prove how anybody can turn into Michael Myers due to their backstory, not backstory, but due to their trauma and all. Now, Michael Myers in the original Halloween movie, he's just kind of turned evil because he's a psychopath. He doesn't care for anyone. He has no remorse. He just likes killing and all that. But I think Corey would have been a very interesting character that that does have
20 minutes. You're lucky, dude.
No, I don't think that's I don't think Corey, even if Corey would have been the new Michael Myers, I don't think that would have been a good idea because the whole thing about Michael Myers is he doesn't have any emotion, he doesn't have any personality, he just kills, right? But when it comes to Corey, as we see in Halloween Ends, he kills for a lot of reasons. Either it's because to protect his girlfriend or like the girl he loves, Allison, or just because of his own personal issues. He has a reason for why he kills. And uh as he usually kills if it's for a benefit for him or his girlfriend.
so well, a lot of these horror movies and a lot of these franchises, they do make a lot of they do make they do set up for a lot of future stories or future franchises and all. But I think it's a pretty good choice by David Gordon Green, which is the director of Halloween Ends and basically the Halloween trilogy, to end it right there and just kill Michael Myers and Corey on the spot because you know because because it's been a very tired thing to just to continue. Space is a very tired thing to continue a lot of franchises when you don't really need it. So I do appreciate David Gordon Green for just ending it at a trilogy. But I think he could have done it better, like you said. But I don't think it's as bad as you're saying because I do see a lot of the point of what David Gordon Green is trying to make is a motivation of why a person would become a killer, and I would appreciate him for his future movies for to explore the motivations and the personalities of the characters and the details of the characters more thoroughly than just oh, he's just going to kill someone, he's just going to kill that and that and that. And I think you could maybe he could make a, and I think it's not as bad, you know. But he could definitely make a point where he's trying to mirror Corey's killings with Michael Myers' killings, even though they come from completely different motivations. Michael Myers, he's basically just a demon. He's just a demon in human form. Well, Corey is more of a
I mean, he's
he's a
kind of a
very
demon when we come to like the original Halloween time, and you know the
yeah.
Curse of Thorn.
Well, Corey could be a representation of the worst impulses of humanity, and now where he lets his impulses and his self control. Now he basically loses all his self control, lets his impulses drive away without really thinking about the consequences of what he's doing now. And I feel like David Gordon Green could have connected these two motivations together and those two themes together in a pretty good way, but probably due to Corey not being in the last movie or something. It just kind of feels a little forced. So I do agree that I do agree that Corey is sort of an unnecessary addition, but I think you need to see what was the intention of the filmmakers behind here. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think all of these reboots and endings are kind of not that good for all horror movies. Like I already talked about Halloween, and we all know about reboots. Like the original Halloween, the first movie was good, and then the rest were absolute garbage. Curse of Thorn, good concept, poorly executed, we know. And then they brought in H2O. I haven't watched that yet, but considering everything that I know about it and the opinions of others, I don't think it was good. And then we have Rob Zombie. That actually was a good concept. We know Rob Zombie 1. That was actually pretty good. Michael Myers being a different character. Instead of trying to kill his sister, he wants to be with his sister. But then they just ruined it with Rob Zombie 2. And Rob Zombie could have been a good timeline, but they ended it off horribly. And then we have Friday the 13th. Now, Jason Goes to Hell, Friday the 13th part 9 should have been the end, but because of what people wanted, they wanted to see more of Jason. We know that. And so they created Jason X. But the thing about it is horror movies, they don't want it to end. They want horror movies to continue. They want the timeline to continue. So instead of just ending it off with a good ending, they just continue making up some random stuff, which doesn't even make sense. Like it gets to a point where Jason X, like future, like a new Earth, Jason wakes up and becomes a cyborg. Uber Jason. Like, where is this all going? It starts going insane.
So I'm gonna give you the dates of when these movies are released. Jason Goes to Hell is released in 99 or 99, while Jason X was released in 2001. So I believe that the landscape of horror movies have changed vastly since then because the rise of independent horror movies. For example, you ever seen The Witch or The Babadook or Hereditary or Midsummer? Those are all pretty great movies and have pretty great themes. So what you're talking about because you're saying about horror movies now about all the reboots now. Well, I believe that it's not really as common because nowadays I think that horror movie fans do have a very high standard for what a horror movie should be. It ain't just all gonna be jump scares, but it also should be about themes and all. And there's also very good examples of reboot or some this for example, Evil Dead Rise have they have pretty good very interesting themes about family trauma and all. While for another example, The Exorcist Believer, it's really bad because it's just a pointless sequel made by the same guy who made the Halloween reboot at the same time. So, but what you're saying about horror reboots and all is that you're generalizing them into this sort of single blob or something about reboots are really bad or reboots are very or that reboots is just Hollywood reboots is just really it should really just cash grab while you're not really trying to expand your viewpoint into the entire horror movie landscape, which is a very interesting which is a very, very fascinating field, not a very fascinating genre, that you should definitely try to explore and try try to broaden your landscape.
Yeah, I can agree. Some reboots are good. The 2018 reboot for Halloween was good. Like, Halloween 2018, that was actually really good. Like, the whole perspective of what will happen after the first movie was actually really good. Like, after the first Halloween movie, Laurie becomes super traumatized and just starts training just in case Michael Myers ever comes back. She's too addicted to the whole Michael Myers escaping jail thing. And it's been 40 years. She even dragged her entire family into this situation. Her daughter, her granddaughter, she is too scared of Michael Myers to just move on. Uh, and they end up like catching Michael Myers at the end of 2018 Halloween. Then in Halloween Kills, that's when this entire timeline starts to fall off. don't get me wrong, Halloween Kills is a good movie. For some people, they might think like it's kind of like dumb because like Halloween Kills, it's pretty much just Michael Myers killing people. It has nothing to do with the story really. It's just how Michael Myers going around the place living his life on easy mode. And that doesn't really add anything to the story. The whole Halloween story is the like relationship between Laurie and Michael Myers, which is not happening at all in Halloween Kills. It's just Laurie is in the hospital while Michael Myers is just killing everyone. We do get to see Laurie's daughter have some of the action, but she does end up dying at the end. And then, like I said before, Halloween ends. Like, no, that we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Halloween ends. So you know, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, we can agree they're very flawed movies. Halloween Ends more so than Halloween Kills. And I believe there's a lot of missed opportunity when it comes to Halloween Kills because it could have explored Laurie's relationship with the community that she's in and how they're affected by Michael Myers. While also, with Laurie's daughter dying, it should have felt like it's a bigger thing, but it's just kind of gone. She isn't really talking about it because losing your own daughter must have been really bad.
Yeah, it's just like her daughter died in like the end of Halloween Kills, and then in Halloween Ends, it's like she had never even had a daughter in the first
She
place.
just had some kind of granddaughter and daughter to granddaughter.
Yeah, and then like it's just yeah, that's another thing about Halloween Ends. It feels like they just get rid of everything else from the old
They just
Halloween
get rid of
movies.
the consequences.
Yeah.
If they made Laurie a bit more aggressive in trying to catch Myers, well, going on patrols, just trying to see if Michael Myers is there, while also trying to trying to grieve about her daughter. Not trying to grieve about her daughter, but we could see in her face now. It would have been it could have actually been a pretty good thing about what it's like to have someone taken away from you now. But we never really explored that because it's just about Corey or Michael Myers just killing people now, while Laurie Strode and her granddaughter just gets pushed in the background. And I believe that should not have been the case. It should have been the relationship with the town with Michael Myers himself. It doesn't even have to be specifically about Laurie Strode, but how Michael Myers, people like Michael Myers, for example, Corey, it can affect a community in a really bad way, and how to healthily respond, or no, how not how to healthily respond, but how does a community try to stick together in times where a, a where a force of evil just comes along, and but that's the thing about a lot of horror movies is that they it's not really about that. They're not trying to explore interesting things like that. They're just trying to make some cash. They're trying to make some money. They want to start new franchises. They got families to feed. But I believe that film is an art medium. There's a lot of art that can be meaningless, but there's a lot of art that has a lot of detail and love get put into it, and I believe movies should be treated the same way. Just be love, just for the filmmakers to love the thing they're making.
Yes, they have all been treating new horror movies.
I cannot even hear you guys. It's not clear.
Yeah, they have everyone have been treating horror movies like really differently from others. Back then, like we could say that instead of just focusing on the whole plot,
One more
they're
minute.
now just
Wrapping up. Okay.
they're now really just focusing on how cool the villains kill people. Like it's not even like about the story anymore. It's really just about how cool they look at this point. Like with Halloween Kills, I mean, I can agree the way Michael Myers kills people is really cool in that movie, but like where is the plot? Like, there is no development in the story. It's just Michael Myers killing people.
So Michael Myers killed people. Yeah, it's kind of true, but I think you can see the intention of them having to do something a little bit bigger than that. You know, Laurie, they want to hype this up as some kind of a final competition between Laurie and Michael Myers. So this is going to be the end. Nothing's good. This is going to be the end. This is going to be the epic finale now. So they're trying to. I think they.
Hello, Jerry. Loud and clear. Go look at the camera.
So I think what they're trying to do is to have Michael Myers get these extremely brutal kills, but also having Corey doing it just to see as some sort of consequence. Hey, kid, just to see just to see as a consequence of Michael Myers' action how it affects other people now. And I think that's very interesting. Actually, there's a lot of potential going on where it's just that they the problem about it is that they're trying to do this all in one movie now, and they have an entire trilogy they could do this on, but they decided that in Halloween Kills, it's just Michael Myers just killing people, Halloween Kills, and I think that's just very disappointing because they had an entire trilogy to work on the story, but they're more focused on getting a lot of kills in the end, and they're more focused on just the spectacle of it, While, but I don't think these movies are pointless at all. I think they have something to say, and they have some of that mob mentality or all that, and just saying that a lot of these are just pointless movies that are just cash grabs is just kind of a little bit reductive,
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure all of us can say that horror movies, no matter if they're bad or good, they all have something to do with the entire story. So we can all proudly say, both of us, that horror movies, they are all amazing and all have a good storyline. Thank you for listening.